Hey, what's going on, Spooky? How are we feeling? So glad I'll take it. We having a good day so far? Yeah. Great, great. All right, so before we do get this panel underway, we do have a microphone located right out in the audience for whatever questions you guys might have. So start thinking about your questions right now. I think it's time to get this panel underway. What do we think, Spooky? All right, it is my absolute privilege to bring to the stage, she is the one and only Rosanna Arquette! Going. Let's check the mics.
I think it's okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hello. How's the day been so far?
It's been fun. Nice people. Everybody's so sweet. Nice. This is only my second convention, autograph. My brother does it all the time. And so, but it's been nice. People are really nice and have autographs of things, or like pictures of things like, oh God, I remember that. I've never seen it. It was like years ago. That's sweet.
Well, your second convention, I'm happy it's a Spooky Empire. The first one you did, have you done any conventions with any of your siblings, or were they at the last one?
No. There's talk about that, because I told my sister about it, but David he's always doing them. He does them a lot. He's in Scream, so
Well, welcome. Hopefully we, get you to do a lot more of them after experiencing how amazing Spooky Empire is. So I kind of wanted to just ask, initially, obviously a lot of people in your family are in the industry. Was it always something that you had your sights on? Did you always want to act and direct and produce?
Well, I'm the eldest of 5.
Wow.
And my mother and father were, my father was an actor, my mother was an actress and a poet, and then she became a therapist. I think you have to be a therapist to have a bunch of actors as your children. I learned musicals, every musical record. I loved music, every song I memorized. It's like just the arts, and we grew up around the arts. So a lot of painters and artists and musicians. So we were very fortunate to be around artists, and then I did fall into it. And Lily Taylor's here, who I love, and we had the same acting teacher in Chicago. That was neat. I didn't know that, so found that out today.
So obviously starting with acting and now directing and producing as well, was that something that developed for you later on, or was it always the 3?
I did 2 documentaries, one called Searching for Deborah Winger and one on musicians called All We Are Saying, and they were both on Showtime. And I liked the question that both themes has of how we balance our life with our art, motherhood, marriage, and having a career, which has always been challenging in this industry, with any industry really, but like when you're a working mom and working away, it's challenging. So I was always interested in asking other artists how they do it, and that's what I did in those 2 things. I'll probably direct a feature. I have something in mind, and the industry's changed a lot since streaming and AI and all that. That's kind of a little horrible for artists in a lot of ways.
I mean, we had the strike not too long ago too.
And the strike was brutal on top of everything. So everybody's, creating their own. That's what's great. At the end of the day, AI doesn't have a soul. So. It doesn't. I mean, it can do great things, especially medically. I like it for that, but not for artists. I mean, I think you can tell the difference. So, but it's kind of wiping out, people who worked for years and years in our industry, and then coming in and this machine is like doing the voiceovers, doing the special effects. People who've worked their whole lives doing the makeup for that, and now they can do it in AI. And it's just, it's really sad and hard to see. But I do believe, for people I know, there's going to be a revolution, and just like records came back. Remember, everybody was digital and vinyl. Like, I love my record collection. Actors that are the pure form of it, there will be some kind of revolution and people still doing that soulful work, I think.
Right.
Feel.
Yeah, we can clap it up. Why not? I remember the whole AI thing. It was putting people in movies that they didn't even know that they were in.
Exactly. And you didn't sign off on that, that's what's so scary. So, my idea, I would love to, form, years ago, it was Charlie Chaplin and Lillian Gish and Douglas Fairbanks did United Artists in the 20s, and so I think like a studio of artists just all coming together and so that, you can make art and also make a living doing it without it being going to big corporations and, destroying the artist.
Right. Well said. So obviously you've been in multiple roles across various genres, but here at Spooky Empire we love all things horror. So I wanted to...
I haven't done a lot of... I've never done real horror. I did a movie years ago with Betty Davis called The Dark Secret of Harvest Home, I haven't done the real... I just did, that.
Yeah, Let's talk about that.
I just did a little movie that could be great. It has
Succubus, right?
Yeah, Succubus. But have you seen it?
No, I saw the trailer for it because
it was a really great script. It was the first kind of horror thing that I did, and the script was amazing. So I met with the young director who had won awards doing shorts, and Daniel, and he asked me to come in and play the mom. So it's a story of someone who becomes obsessed online with a woman, not a scary woman, and everything that happens there. Yeah.
And it's a great cast too.
Yeah, it's a really cool. So yeah, Ron and I didn't get a chance to work together. So, but it opens at the end. At the end, if there is a sequel, I think Mom can come back.
Dun dun dun. We shall see. Well, I feel like I would be absolutely remiss if we didn't talk about Pulp Fiction, if that's all right.
But that's not a horror film, is it?
I mean, maybe the scene. Classic, absolute classic film. What was your experience like working with Quentin Tarantino and also Eric Stoltz?
We just had the 30th year anniversary.
Wow.
And I never saw the movie. Because all these years when there was a premiere of it, which was 30 years ago, I was pregnant with my daughter, and I went with my mom, and we were sitting there, and it was so violent. I hated it for my baby, and I just left, and I never saw the movie. So we just had the 30-year anniversary at Grauman's Chinese Theater in Los Angeles in April, and then I said, wow, this is good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I have to say, I don't like all the N-word stuff in there.
Sure.
That bothers me a lot.
Not for you.
I think we wouldn't do that now.
Yeah, no.
It's a different time.
Yeah.
But it's so everybody's great, and I love John, and I love Uma, and Sam Jackson is sublime, and everybody's great. And Eric Stoltz, you asked me about, he was great. He was funny, sweet, kind, and we had a good time making that. Quentin likes to do a lot of rehearsal, so he rehearses a lot, like a play. So we knew exactly what we're doing, And then it's hard to improvise a Quentin Tarantino script because he is very specific on his words, but I love to improvise, so I did throw in pig.
That's fair.
He kept it. So.
Okay, so you mentioned you rehearsed it a lot. What was it like actually filming? Did he film it as much as you rehearsed it, or was it?
No, and then once you know what you're doing, then there's room to be free within it, but you're not. But he does. It's very specific and rehearses it like a play, just for the camera, I think. But rehearsal process was really cool because there was a lot of moments of just off camera, you're sitting, talking with Uma about relationships and things like that.
How did you like the piercings?
The what?
Didn't you have a lot of piercings on your face?
So yeah, I did pierce my nose and let it close up. I didn't do other places. Ow!
Let's see. What was the atmosphere like on set, like filming a movie like that with pretty violent themes?
Because I'm specifically in that scene, so that was just so I wasn't around for the other things. But it was a really great set. But it was also the first time everybody kind of worked favored nations. It wasn't like everybody worked, I think, for the same amount of money, so they say. So like a lot of actors, I think it started a trend. You work for a little bit of money, and then if it makes money, you get something on the back end. Unfortunately, my agent didn't do that with me. So I didn't get the back end. But I'm happy to be a part of the movie, now that I just saw it.
That's great. Okay, so to pivot a little bit, I also wanted to ask about another legendary director, David Cronenberg,
Yeah, I love him.
and working with him on Crash.
He was wonderful. He was wonderful to work with. He's so kind and speaks really calm, and he's just, you don't think of, like, his brain is, making these crazy, weird films. And so I did love working with him a lot. And Elias Koteas was great, and Holly Hunter, and James Spader. I met James Spader on the set because I was shooting another movie in Florida, Gone Fishing, with Joe Pesci and Danny Glover. And then I had to leave, and my daughter had just turned 1, and I had to leave and go. I was kind of going back and forth between those movies, and they're completely different movies. Yeah.
Is your process different for, like, Gone Fishing and then going to do Crash? And is there a way you also have to, like, decompress after a film as well?
Earlier in my career, it was, but it's become second nature. You've been in it for a long time. My daughter will end up coming here because she's starring in Luc Besson's Dracula. Oh. Isn't that exciting? So she'll be in a horror movie.
That's amazing.
Yeah, romantic horror, whatever, love story horror movie.
Was there any advice that you gave to your daughter when she was
I
venturing?
can't give my daughter advice. She's really gifted, and her name is Zoe Bleu, B-L-E-U, and she also is making music, and she has a song on Apple right now called Erotes that just came out, and she does fashion, and she's really cool. And I'm pretty in awe of her, I have to say. I'm a proud mama. So, and I had worked with Luke years ago on Le Grand Bleu, and it just happened. It didn't have anything to do with me. She was like, "Mom, they want me to," and so it was kind of like, what's happening? And yeah, she had a screen test. Hundreds of girls did. She got it. She had to audition. It wasn't like handed it to her. Anyway, she fought hard for it. It was really neat.
Did she see Pulp Fiction before you did?
Yeah, I think she did. I couldn't. Yeah, it was too violent when I was little. But she does like that movie. Yeah, yeah, she did. She couldn't believe that I never. When she was little, I never kind of. Our whole family. There was a moment like, oh, I don't know what this year was. It was so crazy, but we were living in Los Angeles, driving down Sunset, and it would be like, there's Aunt Courtney, when my brother was married to Courtney Cox, on a billboard. There's Aunt Patricia. It was just surreal. Like, Mama, we were all around on like papers or newspapers. So, it was like, this is not real life. This is such a very weird life that our whole family are in entertainment, but that's not real. That's not the real world. So I was really trying to keep her like. I didn't really talk about movies, and then she had a sleepover, and someone showed her Desperately Seeking Susan when she was little, and she didn't know. Like, I was like, Mama, I didn't do that. I wanted her to just give her as much of a normal child as I possibly could, but she came out of the womb like dressing up and in costume, total actor, singer, like born in the DNA. It really was that.
I mean, that sounds like a fun sleepover watching Desperately Seeking Susan. That's cool. I love that.
Yeah, I also didn't give her a lot of sugar, and she like came home and she was about 8, just like falling asleep. I said, "What happened?" I thought like they drugged my kid, but they had drank. She discovered Coca-Cola, and she had a complete sugar meltdown. Yeah.
So speaking of Desperately Seeking Susan, I mean, it's iconic for so many reasons, but I love the wardrobe and just the way that they portray everything going on during that time. Is there a fashion moment from that time period that you would like to see make a resurgence, and something you hope never will?
I hate shoulder pads.
Really?
Do you love them?
I kind of do.
You do? I know, but I think you do. No, I lived in that period, the 80s and stuff. I don't know. It comes when someone knows how to do it really well, like great designers that know how to cut. My daughter does fashion. She's really good. She does that too. I don't know. She's amazing. But I'm her mom. So. I love to. We all love our kids. They're all amazing.
Okay, so no shoulder pads, but what can
No,
you
I
do
mean,
to think?
yeah, I don't love shoulder pads. I wore them. I mean, there's like gigantic football-looking things. Yeah, yeah.
That's fair.
Probably that, but yeah.
That's cool.
Okay.
And what was your experience like working with Madonna?
So we had a really good time during that movie. We really did. She was with Jelly Bean, and she was, always having, broken heart moments. We were really close in that time. And I was at her wedding with Sean Penn, and then we, through the years, like I'd run into her. I did go see her concert in Los Angeles. It was great. And she sat, I sat next to Rosie. We didn't go on stage, but we were like, and that was Rosie O'Donnell, was great. And then we didn't get to say hi to her, which was a bummer. She didn't say hi to anybody, even though we were all kind of backstage in this little area. She just had to go. She worked. It's a hard show. She worked hard.
Yeah, her cardio routine, yeah.
Right? I know. Well, she worked me out once. Ugh.
Tell us everything. Okay.
It was hell. She just put me on the stair. I think it was like one of those stairmasters. I was just like, and she did it so hard. Like I was like, I did it for like 5 minutes. I was out. Like I do this. But that's why she has this beautiful legs and works out. Like, yeah, takes that hard work. Yeah.
So if it's okay with you, we're gonna take some questions from y'all. So we do have a microphone set up. I know it's a little far back, but whatever questions you guys might have, thank you for you. Here we go.
Can't see anything.
I know, but everyone looks great. I promise you.
There you go.
What's up? This is my friend Steve. It's actually his birthday today. So.
Happy birthday, Steve.
Happy birthday. Thank you very much. Rosanna, could you tell us your experience working with Martin Scorsese on After Hours?
I love him, and I loved working with him. I also did a movie with him called New York Stories, and also another thing we did that he is in as an actor with Griffin Dunn and Ileana Douglas that David Sally directed. I forgot what it's called. My gosh. Oh my, I don't know. Look it up, but it's terrible. Oh my gosh, I forgot. But I love him. Love the way he works. He is an extraordinary director, and I'm so blessed to have had that experience to be able to work with him. And I just saw him was it last year for Killers of the Flower Moon? Last year? Was it the year before that? How long ago? It was maybe
last year.
It was last year?
Yes.
Right? Yeah, it was. And so went to a big screening, got to see him, and it was wonderful seeing him. And his, I run into his daughter a lot, Francesca. And, yeah. So.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Steve. Hey, what's your name?
Hi, my name's Gwen. I'm a little nervous, but the first thing I ever saw you in was Joe Dirt. Absolutely loved it.
Did we shoot that down here? Where did we shoot? Yeah. Did we shoot? No. I think, oh no, we were in LA. We were in LA. For some reason, I thought we were in Florida. Yeah.
Is there a big difference on working on something like that and then something like Crash or After Hours? And also, Christopher Walken, how was he?
He's the best, Christopher Walken. He's so fun. He was great. And, and I, Chrissy Hind is a really close friend of mine. She's Zoe's godmother, and she had a big crush on Christopher Walken, so she was very excited that I was working with him. So funny. The difference, yes, there is a difference, because comedy is comedy and, drama is drama, but it's always wonderful to work with actors that you respect and enjoy being around, and the off-camera is always the fun part, just sitting around talking about real things in life, There's a lot, a lot of people who have been affected in Florida with the huge floods and that in the storm, and that was horrendous. I got hit where I am in the East Coast by a storm, and so you just, like we're talking about insurance companies not covering it, like that's like real life,
So I hope you don't mind, but I recently watched Crash. It's not a very easy movie to find. It's kind of nuts. I mean, did he just say what it's about, and you were like, oh yeah, sure. Like, how did that interaction go?
It is a weird movie. Is it a hard movie to find? I didn't even know that's sad. Gosh, yeah, that's a real bummer that it's hard to find because it's one of his classics, and it was. It is strange. It's based on a book and of people are obsessed and get sexual arousal by watching car crashes. So it is a very odd movie. But I did enjoy working on that a lot. And I loved Holly Hunter and James Spader. I was going to tell the story that I met him when I was doing what was the movie I did? In Florida, Gone Fishing. Yeah. So, and then went there and met him I came on the set and had to go right into the car and do the love scene with him in the back of the car. Hi, yeah, hi, how you doing? And then just go back. It's like touching my boob, you know. Hi, nice to meet you. Thank you. That's right. Hello, to see you. I feel bad when you're supposed to be talking and I'm not
Hi,
supposed to.
my name's Alan.
This is my Scouser friend.
Yeah. So if I was a time traveler, I would love to live in New York in the early 80s. You filmed Desperately Seeking Susan there. What was New York like in the 80s? St. Mark's, all those amazing places.
It's
the
completely
bumps.
different.
Yeah. Can you tell us some stories about that summer in the 80s?
It's just like, you know, it's bought up and changed and gentrified, and it wasn't then.
But do you have any wild, scary stories about the rats or the punks or?
Wild, scary stories of rats rats are still there and they've multiplied. And they're big as cats. They're huge. Oh. I don't like rats.
When you were filming
I'm sorry, I feel
there-
bad for them. I don't want to kill, but I just like, they're in New York, they're gigantic. And so if you're walking down the street in New York sometimes at night and there's trash and people, the next day is trash, you know, Central Park, I was just walking with my daughter a while ago and big old giant rat just ran across and I screamed. I could be in a horror movie. I mean, definitely. I have a good scream when it comes to a rat.
Do you remember, this is so random, the rat with the pizza rat?
Oh, yeah. What's that?
The rats are so big, they're literally eating New York slices of pizza.
Like carrying the big, yeah, they're gigantic. Yeah.
Hey, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Shannon with purple hair. We met last night.
Hi, Shannon.
I just wanted to ask you, that jacket in Desperately Seeking Susan, were you able to keep it, or did they keep it, or Madonna?
It's a bad story.
Oh.
I have it. I had it. I had that jacket, and I gave it to my Peter Gabriel's daughters, because I used to date him, and so we were together. And I gave it to his daughters. So I was like, "Where's that jacket?" Because now the Academy Museum would love that jacket. I think they made a couple of them, but it was dumb. I wish I would have held on to it, but just this is cool. You can have it. And they don't know where it is.
Well, it looked great on you.
Thank you. Well, that was Santo Laquasto, who worked with Woody Allen for a lot of years and as his production guy, and he did the costumes and the production design, and it's pretty amazing, that production design, I think, for that movie.
Yeah, I loved all. I was like 9 years old when I saw that movie, so that's right. In the old 80s.
Wow.
And there's another movie. It's a little gem. It's called "Baby, I'm Yours."
Baby, It's You.
Or "Baby, It's You,"
Which is a John Sayles film with Vincent Spano, and and Robert Downey Jr.'s first movie is little cameo in there. He was 17.
Oh my God.
He plays one of the high school students. And yeah, I actually really love that movie. And Griffin Dunn and Amy Robinson produced that movie. So Griffin and I have known each other for many years. I met him in a film. We were on our way to Poland in Lot Airlines, and I met him on our way to Poland. Diane Wiest, Lisa Eichhorn, Tom Conti about the Jews in the Warsaw Ghetto. It was a 4-hour miniseries, and that's when I met Griffin, and I was 20, about to be 20 years ago. It was a long time ago, and that's how we became friends. And then he ended up producing Baby It's You, and I did screen test, and I wasn't offered it. It was, you know, a long process, and ended up getting it. And I do love that movie.
How was it working on it? Because I know it's supposed to take place during the 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
Okay. And I loved all
That's a beautiful production design too. Baby It's You. And John Sayles, who's a wonderful director. Great music soundtrack in that. Some Bruce Springsteen songs, and in fact, I saw Bruce. I ran into him in France or something. He loved that movie, and that's why he gave his music to it. So that's so cool.
so awesome.
Yeah.
And so are you. And
Oh,
I knew
thank you.
I'm kind of nervous. That's why I was thinking of the
nervous?
song. Yeah.
I mean, don't be. I'm sorry you feel nervous.
Oh,
Feel however you feel.
now.
But yeah, I'm nervous.
I'm nervous too. I get it.
Y'all,
Yeah.
and I love your hair, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So, okay, so you mentioned the jacket, which I hope has a good home now. Was
Yeah.
there anything else from set that you do still have from any of your projects?
I don't. So the flood that just happened in my house, I had those boxes of stuff that just kind of floated, you know, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I said to my daughter, I said, I just want to get rid of all this stuff, because I do have nothing like from movies, but a lot of posters, like you put posters of yourself up in your wall. I don't do that. It was in the basement for years, you know, or in storage for years, and then moved across the country, and it was like, what do I do? She said, no, I want it. You know, it's like, if I die, she wants it, so. What are you gonna do?
I also wanted to ask about filming locations, because obviously, you know, being part of your productions is taking you all over the place. Is there a favorite place that you like to film? A city or country?
I love going to Europe anytime I can be in France or Europe or London. I mean, you know, around England. Or I'd love to work in Ireland. They're building studios there, and I love Ireland. And I think Amazon's doing a studio. A lot of people are building, you know, production places in Ireland, but in Europe. But it's sad, you know, because we have all these gigantic studios in Hollywood, and it's too expensive to shoot in California. It's ridiculous. So that's why everybody basically moved out, or people moving, and it's a drag. Because, you know, it'd be fun to even go back to Los Angeles and work there. I moved from LA finally, but after years and years of being there.
Yeah, I feel like the big studios now are what, like Atlanta and New Mexico, and like
New Mexico's a big one, yeah.
because Florida lost its incentive, which is crazy,
Oh, so
right?
that's too bad. Oh, is that governor? Yeah, he doesn't like a lot of things, does he? Yeah. He doesn't like me, that's for sure.
All right, so we do have about 5 or so more minutes left if you guys have any more questions, but I was also curious about your podcast, because I know you did a podcast as well.
I did a podcast. I did it when the guy who's running for president right now was running for president. So I started it then. So it's a long time ago. And then I haven't, you know, I've been thinking about doing it again, but it's just, yeah. I do like interviewing people. I did 2 documentaries where I interview people, and I used to shoot the backstage interviews for Coachella for 6 years. I like interviewing people. You know, I love, see what Drew Barrymore's doing, and she does it so well. I love her show. You know, I would have loved to have done that, because it's fun. I'm interested in other people. I mean, doing this right now is kind of, everybody's so nice, but it feels kind of dumb.
Well, we're enjoying it. We appreciate that you're here, but I get it, like liking to pick people's brains and like learning. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes, hi. My name's Brian. So speaking of interviewing, you've probably done lots of talk shows and junkets and things like that. What is the strangest question that an interviewer has asked you that could be, I don't know, something memorable that you maybe was strange or odd?
They did ask me if I really got pierced down in,
Oh, for the Pulp Fiction?
basically in my,
Yeah.
because we talk about that in Pulp Fiction. There's that whole line that, that with
How many
John Travolta
piercings?
character, how many piercings, and I talk about that. And then, and an interviewer asked me if I had a piercing too. I thought that was like,
Kind of out of left field. It's just a movie, right?
it's just a movie, but no, but I talked to a lot of people who did that, people do it.
So you might be maybe an icon of the
I
piercing industry.
I thought of myself as a method actress, but. Sorry.
Tarantino, he didn't ask you to do that for real? Thank you.
Now that's a weird question.
Can you tell us a little bit? Oh no, a camera person. I was like, do you have a question, cameraman? No, just relocating. Fair enough. Can you tell us more about the Coachella stuff that you mentioned?
Yeah, so I used to shoot the backstage interviews for Coachella, and it was so fun because I do love music and I love that festival, and it was fun because I had a crew. And just be backstage and knock on the dressing room door like, "Hi, Rosanna Arquette, I'm just here doing the backstage interviews," and basically got everybody. No one said no, and I was lucky. So we had some really good interviews. They haven't put them out. I really wish they would, but they did a Coachella documentary, and they have a section where they see that I did do those interviews. There were competing crews, but I always like people say, "You're never gonna get Lauryn Hill." I did. I'll brag about that because I really love doing it so much. And then I think YouTube got involved, and then they of course wanted someone younger. But like I knew a lot of the musicians. I have a lot of friends that are musicians. So, and this is my most favorite job. I remember this one moment where, going up on a cherry picker, the gigantic above the whole festival. I just snuck on there with, and I just remember like looking out and like, I was so happy. I was kind of in my element, and more than any movie, I just really loved doing that. I did.
Who's your dream interview?
Dead or alive. There's like if I had it. I would have loved to interview somebody like Maya Angelou, who's not a musician but a poet. That would have been somebody incredible. And then, but musician-wise, probably Lou Reed would have been fun. I would love to interview Judy Garland because I love The Wizard of Oz. Very eclectic. I have a very eclectic tastes in music too. And I'm a big Radiohead fan.
Awesome. Oh, go ahead. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Patty. It's so great to meet you.
Hi, Patty.
You mentioned that you're a method actress.
Well,
I wonder if there's was ever something that you got into character in that you felt was too extreme for you or was overwhelming?
there was a period where it was just when I think when I was doing Crash, and then my baby had just taken her first steps, and I was still breastfeeding, but I found myself, and I never did it again but they were very obsessed with. Because we shot in Canada, in Toronto, and there was like this weird porn station that came on, and I just I'm not a big porn person, but for some reason, like the character's brain was, I found like, this is really wild. And I think that there was this moment of like, I found myself watching this stuff based on the way the character thought, and then I was feeling kind of yucky, and like a lot of people do waste a lot of their time getting into it, and you can see that it does change the brain in a weird way, and maybe it's not so healthy. That was just a moment that came around doing that character. No judgment, but like it seems to be getting like. Then it was just you could see that it could do something to your brain chemistry. It was very strange, and I it's the only time I did it. I'm not, you know, I just never got into it. But in this moment of watching it and what this character would have done, you know, was really an odd moment. It was like, where am I going? This was like her, wasn't me.
Thank you for sharing.
Sorry, maybe too much information.
Congratulations on your podcast.
Huh?
Congratulations on your podcast.
But it's an old one. Like I got to start it up again, you know. But it's a long time ago. It's before he won the first election, so it's like when he was running. Yeah.
I look forward to having you back.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Hey, what is this? Oh, so it's water.
Tour water.
Tour water. It's very
Right up my
delicious.
alley.
Very good. You should have some. Hey, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Stacy. It's beyond a pleasure to be in the same air and room with you. As weird as that may seem, I'm a little
My
fangirling.
pleasure to breathe the same air as all of you.
It's a very good air. It seems very lovely. As a woman in the film industry myself, on a small scale, on the crew side, as a makeup artist, I've been very, very lucky and blessed. And actually, one woman that's here is amazing producer, director, everything, Beth Wheatley, who's given me a lot of opportunities in my life.
Nice.
But as a woman in this industry, what advice would you give? I know that seems so broad, but if you could, like some nuggets, I know, because there's moments of peaks and valleys in this industry, but keep pushing on. But
Yeah, we keep on keeping on, don't we? I think, you know, you have to have a center that is not based on the outside looking in at you, or like this business, the entertainment business being your only thing in life. Not just, it's how we make our living, but other interests, be interested in other people. At the end of the day, it's just our job. You know, it's just, we're very blessed to be able to do creative work, you know, but at the end of the day, it's just, you know, everybody wipes their ass.
yes,
You know what I mean?
thank you so much. And I love that you shared that part where when you're on set and all these things, but those magical moments that happen when you're not shooting. I love that you shared that moment earlier where this is, those are your behind the scenes moments that you make with just normal people that you're working with. So
Yeah,
I
and
was
just
fun to
everybody
hear
has the
that.
same problem. Everybody like the same things, like, oh, like relationships or kid stuff, and you know, it's just we're all in this together in this world right now, and we definitely want, you know, we're in a time in our country right now. I can't even. I go there, I'm gonna start bursting in tears. It's just. We need a little bit more peace and love, folks.
We do, yes, we do. Thank you for your positivity. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, and that's true, and I think that's
Hope you're all voting.
Yes.
It's important.
Well, thank you so much for being here this weekend at your second convention. I look forward to seeing you at the next one, and if you guys didn't get a chance to ask your question, just make sure to go visit her booth, and thank you so much again.
So nice to meet you all.
Rosanna Arquette, everybody!